What a lovely picture. Well, this plate of crows has been a long time coming. It's an old Poot Heg Sith, the dark Sith of the Third Temple. Patel. Trump, didn't you appoint Stephen Ray to clean house on the seventh floor, not to commandeer his own personal jet for the first time in FBI history? Did he clean house on the seventh floor? Or did he establish a glory hole in the bathroom? Because you really think Patel's going to do something? And then, it's it's literally been since well, David Knights has said it, Days of Noah, a lot of people told us not to trust Trump. Well, it was the only clear path to something other than Marxism and a fourth term for number 44. And what a lovely camera I have. It's just in great condition here. So I don't know what's going on there. So I apologize. It's okay. I have an ugly mug anyhow. It's a little too cold to be in the attic. So, I mean, there's been a lot of indications that without, and I've been trying to hold my breath, because, let's judge the man by his fruits. And he's yet to even go in office. And maybe he was hoodwinked and bamboozled with the last COVID thing. And, maybe he won't roll out 6G and human biomarkers for expelling people back across the border that clearly are terrorist threats. That whole Vegas thing, man, come on. Anyhow, let's focus on the matter at hand. Just another indication before the man has even taken office. And I'm pretty sure that Biden didn't set up the 2025 budget, but it reads the National Nanotechnology Initiative supplement to the president's 2025 budget. And I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's 72 pages long in PDF form. Tells you about the Office of Science and about the National Science Technology, about the cover. And the interesting thing, you can just scroll down through all the many things. Just go to the table of contents for starters. This I found interesting. You got your budget, okay? And you scroll down a little bit forward. Ensure that the United States remains a world leader in nanotechnology research and development. So you do concede that you are a world leader in such? Functional, foundational research, promote commercialization of nanotechnology and R&D, nanotechnology-enabled applications, devices, and systems. Plans for PCA2. Nanotechnology-enabled applications, devices, and systems. Sounds like a beastly kind of mark. What else we got here? Progress on Goal 3. Provide the infrastructure to sustainably support nanotechnology research, development, and deployment. Research infrastructure and instrumentation, engage the public and expand the nanotechnology workforce, education and workforce development. You mean grooming? Responsible development. So, RFKJ and Orange Bejesus with your bit of blood on your ear and your thumb and your toe. I thought it was all supposed to be about no more vaccines. I thought that was well. We'll go back to just the basics, right? Just the basics, because the polio vaccine never did anybody any good. I think they already kind of proved that. But you said you wanted to really streamline it, so kids didn't have to take. I believe at last count it was well over 70 injections of neurotoxins before the age of 18, and it's responsible for a 4,000% increase in autism. I don't ever remember babies having cancer before we started vaccinating children. Do you? But I'm going to digress on that. 72 pages of this. It's in the 2025 budget. What do you think about this, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump? What do you think about it? I love it. There's just a whole page of abbreviations and acronyms, so you can more things you can get familiar with. Yeah. Elon Musk, I'm pretty sure 9 out of 10 chimpanzees agree that Neuralink hurts as an HERTZ a hell of a lot till you perish. about the Nanotechnology Institute. Like I said, so we were going to go get away from all these nasty thimerosal and heavy metal based injections that are hurting kids. And those were the basics that have been around a long time. It goes without saying that we were going to ditch the highly experimental gene therapy, but no, it's budgeted in because it holds great potential. Mm-hmm. Maybe I could get to that part. It is 72 pages. So, yes, I apologize. But yeah, you should peruse through it. It's clear what's being sold is that, well, we can go in, at a certain level and we can just, target exactly what we're trying to do and yada, yada. It's really great, man. So, you know that you're already budgeted up for this. So, are you going to do anything to try to get us out of NATO? Are you going to try to do anything to get us out of this already approved budget for 2025 and continued mRNA, highly experimental gene therapy, bolstering, and using our populace as guinea pigs so you can brag and boast to the world that you're at the forefront of biotechnology? I think we're just getting more and more of the same. I hate to say anything before day one, but I think we should just focus on the matter at hand. I mean, it's currently the fourth day. He will not be inaugurated until the 20th. On the 21st, you will probably see some kind of global lockdown from the P2P bird cooties crap, and which they're already gearing up for now. We know they've been making room in hospitals, I'm sure, for God knows what. And obviously, they're being rather stingy with any information as far as to our safety in the public. Well, we could have the same thing happen in any city across the United States. Y'all just need to be on your guard. Oh, that's the best you could do. Again, I'm not going to wade in with the hip waders to all this crap. Vegas, just that one thing in itself, when you examine it, that dude, come on. There's no way, man. He had a new baby. Like David Knight went into it to great extent. He analyzed it thoroughly, and he's correct. That's not your perpetrator. That's a patsy. I don't know about the other fella. I did find it unusual, as Don Jeffrey said, that it is funny that the camera panned with the pickup truck. For a security camera, I thought those gimbals were stationary. I didn't realize they actually locked onto something and then followed it back because, you saw him turn, back that way. Isn't it strange that the security camera was really focused on the truck the whole time, almost as if it knew it was? Was it behaving irrationally? I mean, the last perpetrated event against the grandmothers in the Christmas parade was the red Durango that was at fault. So now I guess it's all white vehicles, all white pickup trucks should be watched because, again, I've said this a long time, as they try to take away your right to defend yourself. A vehicle in the hands of an incompetent and careless individual is a deadly weapon. I think that's been proven, and they want just as badly, again, communication, the right to defend yourself, and to be able to be mobile. You're being conquered. You're creating the walls of your own prison. You're more enthralled in all this crap. Huey Lewis said, I want a new drug. You got your new drug. Knowledge. Oh, fear. Oh, doom scroll. Doom scroll. Oh, yeah. Fear not. Matthew 6:34. Worry not about today's drones, for tomorrow has enough drones of its own, people. So be blessed. Focus on the matter at hand. You haven't even seen an inauguration. So, obviously they're throwing the kitchen sink at this just like any primate would. They fling feces at the wall to see what will stick to mark their territory. And they're throwing the whole bushel at the wall, including sentencing Trump. Although they have no hopes of incarcerating him, they still want him to go down the history books as being a convicted felon, although there's no felony charges. But for some reason, 37 misdemeanors add up to a felony. Whatever, guys. I don't care. Monkey butt pox, whatever. Roll it all out, man. Just have a field day with it. We don't care anymore. We're not falling for another lockdown. We're not falling for your crap anymore. And I think that the base, as much as everybody wants to run MAGA through the mud, we should We should make asylums great again because there's a lot of people that should probably be in them. How about we make America grateful again or gracious? How about we have far more in common with our own countrymen and even people on the other side of the world than we do with any of these corrupt governments or any of these stuffed suits that claim that they serve at our pleasure, which they do. And they need to be humbled and reminded of that. And the Lord's doing it, but you'd rather chase all the other stuff around. What I'm worried about? The intense situation with the people living in tents in the mountains. That, as far as I can see, the next 3 weather systems that are moving through this polar vortex, that is the one region that will be affected by each and every one. Mm-hmm. As much as they want to talk about what they're trying to, we're seeing some snowfall and a fake winter, and so we don't think there's global warming. No, it's just about pummeling the crap out of what they care about. And that's, again, we're sorry we had to take your land. Oh, we're sorry we had to take your kids. We're sorry we had to take your livestock. And we're not sorry about it. They want that lithium. That lithium's what's important to them, not anybody who sits atop of it. And what's the lithium for? Do you think that these batteries in these Tesla Barbie mobiles are going to last more than 3 to 5 years without building up depletion layers? They're going to have a very short lifespan because nobody's going to let them run all the way dead before they recharge them. They're going to have really bad depletion layers. Nobody's going to want to have an almost dead battery sitting in a garage. No, they're not. Every time they come back, whatever little bit they use, they're going to top it off. And that'll be their usable amount before long. And then the vehicle will be totaled out, just like your airbags went off. And then that crap will end up in a landfill when it's no longer a viable battery. What's that going to do? And just like all the last things. Like I said, oh, yeah, we need these bulbs with the ballast in them. So, yeah. And that's what's leaching mercury and all kinds of crap in through your landfills and why you can't eat game fish anymore. And now we're back to diode light, which isn't healthy either because, again, the light spectrum, guys. I know incandescent is heat loss. You guys, you didn't care anything about heat loss unless it came to CERN super collider, right? You had to have no loss there. Again, I worked on particle accelerators. I know what you fools are up to, and I don't know what I witnessed. We've been talking about them drones a lot, but Mike Decker, you captured for a guy who, just like me, is sick of hearing about drones. God delivered you something, didn't he? And now I didn't. It's weird. I didn't get that weird, unsettled feeling about some of these orbs, and I've been telling people that a while. In some ways, I thought maybe it was Jacob's ladder, people that were passing on, and we were seeing, the elevator going up and down. The ones that I've personally seen one, I don't care if you call me crazy, it was much smaller, and there was no detail because it was just white hot. But not to use FLIR terms, but yeah, it was just white hot. And softball size. Anyhow, there's a lot of things going on, folks. And there's one thing you can prepare for everything: water, food, alternate power, keeping your freezers from thawing out. Keeping power to them every couple of days, not opening them up. And using maybe your solar. Run generators is going to let everybody know you got food. We all know about all this and how bad it'll get very shortly ensuing there afterwards, and how long it could possibly take for order to be restored. And you can laugh and hem and haw all you want about the terrorist cells in the United States, but they're here. They've been laying low and they ain't in squalor. You're paying for them to be held up, and they got phones. They were supplied by the people who control them. But anyway, don't worry about the people in Appalachia. Don't worry about people that don't have health insurance or are homeless right now and are getting kicked out of hospitals. And don't worry about any of that, because you got yours. I know somebody right now who's actually worse off than probably the Appalachian people because at least they have their property and they have their health. And they're not all banged up, and people want to continue to kick them while they're down. And then we got to puff up ourselves and say, yeah, we're going to do something for this individual. And I guess our duty's done. I think the reason Jesus kept it simple as to loving your neighbor is he knows that that's what's really going to be needed, because we just need to look at that basis alone. You don't need to be concerned. Very soon, when it comes down to survival, you won't have any concern about what's going on at the other side of the world. You'll just be content with making sure everything's secure till the end of the block. So why don't you focus on that realm? And the one certainty is you can stockpile all the beans, bullets, and band-aids that you want. It's uncertain whether you'll get to use them. Okay, so what is certain is in life is death. Prepare for that. Your salvation. Work on that. That's a certainty. And I think the time is drawing near. We do not know the time. Let me report a cool thing. So, a couple of cool things. I was following this chick, and I wish I could remember her name, and I'll have to look it up while I'm talking about it. And I had shared stuff on my channel about it. And she goes into the labyrinth of caves underneath Jerusalem. At one point, there's 32 feet between these caves in the Muslim world. And they had them closed, and they put a bunch of theatrical lighting. It's very red. Looks like hell down there, really. But that's Solomon's tunnels and where they cut all the stones for the third temple. And ironically, where the Masonic order went in around 1850s and cut every cornerstone for every Masonic temple in the United States out of, and still has the power and wherewithal and ability to kick everybody out of those labyrinth of tunnels that look like catacombs once a year to have their ceremony in the main hall, the largest room, which it didn't used to be. It used to be in one far reserve. She covers that too. But she covered another thing the other day. Like I said, I can't remember her name right now. She went into the tunnels underneath Sodom. Let this bring some goosebumps to the surface of your skin. And as she's climbing through the remains underneath Sodom, you see a lot of interesting things, including like one thing was like just a thick piece of board, almost looked like we would construct concrete, with rebar in it, very thick, but it was tar and salt compressed together. It looked like a big concrete thing, and it's like well, maybe they were doing something with the salt and tar and somehow using it as a building thing. It was really strange, but just salt and everything. Of course, it's underneath the Dead Sea and whatever, but just everything. She could cut herself even on the salt. Okay, nothing should grow down there. No light, no nothing. Do you think it's biblical that there's new life? They've actually found a species. It looks like a very small couple blades of grass that are very deeply embedded in it. I think he said a couple centimeters, and the guy came down, took samples. It's at one of the most acclaimed institutes in the world, and they're trying to. My guess is it will be a new species of something that's growing where there's nothing but salt, no water, and no light. He's coming. God bless y'all. Get close to the one who made you. You were his glory, and you were made in his image. And men, women are your glory. Remember that. So if you're upset with your woman and she ain't doing as you think she should do, imagine how upset the Lord must be with those that were made in his image.